welcome to the Intuitively Wild podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Levine. Living intuitively wild is about coming back home to ourselves. Here we talk about how to live connected to ourselves, others, and nature, and make a commitment to radical authenticity, vulnerability, and acceptance. On this podcast, we delve into a wide range of topics that span the human experience. We peel back the layers and talk about the things that are often not talked about. This is a space for us all to walk and wander this path of life together. Let's dig into our roots and go deep. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. And welcome to our monthly reflection and intention setting episode where we reflect on the month that has passed and set intentions for the month to come. And of course, this month we are reflecting on September and setting intentions for October. And I feel like there's a lot to reflect on. I know that that's partially because September is my birthday month, and birthdays always make me feel very reflective and, processing this full cycle that I just moved through, and it feels like a big shedding and portal and new path. And at the same time, I think it also feels very reflective and significant for all of us because September met us with the first eclipse of this new cluster and the equinox. And those are all times where we are being forced to reflect and take a look at our lives and shed and release and let go and surrender. And for a lot of people, we saw patterns and people and possibilities shift or fall away from our lives, and we saw our paths take unexpected turns or unexpected things happening in our lives. And September was a time for reflection, renewal, and releasing for so many of us. That was the overarching theme. And I think because of that, it is extra important for us to take an exhale and a pause and prioritize taking time and space to process all that has happened and to move through it. Because of course this time has forced us into that reflection period and forced us to face some things that in our lives that maybe we were avoiding or didn't even have the awareness that we needed to look at. But we were still in it. We were still in the process. And so now we can take a step back and process it all and integrate it all and embody it all and then move forward with this newfound sense of grounding and hopefully clarity or just connection to ourselves. Because another common theme of September was things falling away and us not having the answers of what is going to fill that space, or us not knowing why things are falling away, or us realizing certain things that need to shift and change, but not knowing the how. I've been talking to a lot of people about wanting to seek clarity, and I can speak to this from my own experience. This is something that I often try to grasp onto, and especially this last month, of wanting to have clarity and really that sense of control of where my path is going next and understanding what I want or what isn't working, but not knowing the next step to take to bring that into my life. And what I want to remind you, and what this month has reminded us, is that we cannot decide the timing. We can continue to tune into what we want and what we need and where we're going and really lean into that trust and that connection and our intuition, but we can't decide the when, and we also can't decide the how. Once we have that clarity around the action step to take, of course we take that action and move forward on our path. But until we have that clarity, we can't just logically force or contort our path to move in a certain direction. We can't decide how we're going to get to where we're going to go and when. And we have to release that control. We have to surrender. And that's what the eclipse are all about. It's trusting that whatever happens is going to happen and it's leading me on my path. And so I'm just going to kind of take my hands off the wheel and trust that I'm going to get to my destination. Because you are going to get to the exact destination you need to go that is going to lead you to the exact right place you need to go. On the path you need to go to get there. You just can't decide what the path is. So I hope you really give yourself the time and space to pause and process. That's what reflecting is. It's processing. It's moving things through the body. It's getting out and feeling what we need to in order to move on more full and whole and aligned than before. I hope that this podcast episode can serve as that process for you, or that it's just the little push you needed to create that space for yourself in some way. Whatever way feels supportive and helpful and healing for you in this moment. And with that, let's get into the journal prompts, which I think are especially potent for this time and this theme that we're talking about. And as a reminder, all of this, especially the journal prompts, will be written out and posted on my Substack and the blog on my website in case it's more helpful for you to come back and read it later, or you just want something to refer back to. So our first journal prompt is, what did I gain clarity on this month? What still feels hazy or unclear? What fell away in September? What entered or re-entered my life? Where do I feel spaciousness? Where do I feel in the in-between? What emotions were present for me throughout September? And I know for me, September looked a little bit differently than I thought it would. Really, the last few months have been a little bit different than I thought they would. And a lot has been shifting for me, both externally and internally. Things falling away, patterns, beliefs, behaviors. And that has all been for my greatest good and has been serving me. But it's really been testing me, requiring me to soften and surrender more and more. And what does that look like? What do I mean when I say that? It means to slow down. It means to really, what I said before, throw my hands up and be like, I'm letting go of what I thought things should be. I'm letting go of trying to make them be what I thought they should be. I'm letting go of my expectations. I'm letting go of my fixations, my ruminations. I am fully focusing on what is truly present for me in each moment, and staying fixated and devoted to my goals and my dreams and my desires, and trusting that they are coming for me, knowing to the core of my being that they are coming for me, but I don't get to decide how. I don't get to decide when, and all I truly have control over and all I can truly align with is the present moment, and the rest is out of my hands. And so I've been leaning into that more and more. I've been forced to lean into that more and more. And that's been a big part of what these eclipses in this past month has brought up for me. Which actually brings me pretty perfectly into the concepts and practices that I focus on for September. And if you are a paid subscriber on Substack, we've gone into some of this before, or if you're a client of mine, because I talk about this a lot, but I wanted to touch on it here on the podcast. And I actually might have in a previous episode. I talk about it a lot because I think it's so powerful and so important. And that is this passenger consciousness concept. In human design, there is this belief that our minds are not here to make our decisions. Our minds are just to make sure that we are surviving as a human being. But our bodies are the ones that are meant to lead us down our path. Our bodies, the energy and the soul within our body is what is meant to lead. That is the vehicle, and we are just the passengers. And so when I say follow your energy, it just means disconnect from your brain, from your conditioning, from what you logically think you should be doing, and focus in on what your energy, your body's cues are telling you. Where are you feeling drawn to? What are you feeling excited by? What are you feeling energized by? And trusting that. Get out of your head and into your body. And a lot of us have complicated relationships with our bodies, and this can be a really beautiful entry point to reconnecting to our body in a way that feels safe and supportive, just focusing on the energy we feel within us. But if that still feels uncomfortable or unsafe for you, just focus on getting out of your head and back into the present moment. And remind yourself, we are not meant to make decisions from our brain. We are meant to let the energy within our body lead us through life. And a way to practice this, how do we embody this? That brings us to the practice for September, which is respond versus react. Do you know the difference? Reacting comes from this conditioned, triggered, activated place. Responding comes from a grounded, present, authentic place. A truly connected place. An intentional place. How can you build in a pause so that you respond from a process-grounded, authentic place versus react from a conditioned, activated, autopilot, fixed place? When you build in a pause, it gives you time to question your thoughts and reactions. Are they intentional or conditioned? Are they authentic? Are they in alignment? Are they supportive? Are your responses aligned with who you want to be? Are they really what you need and feel and think and want? Our responses make sure that we are actually connecting to all of that. And so this month, I really invite you to bring that with you. First of all, remembering to get out of your head and into your body. And then bring in the pause. Connect to your body through the pause. Connect to your energy through the pause. Connect to your true, authentic self through that pause. And live from that space, that grounded space. And October is a really perfect time to do that because, again, it is fall. It is asking us to slow down, to soften, to go inwards, and to really prioritize ourselves, which we will get into in a moment when we go into our October intentions. But first, I want to give you a little product suggestion from September. And the herb that I was a little bit hyperfixated on for September was cinnamon. And this is a plant ally that can be a little underlooked. And it's so common and seemingly mundane, but cinnamon is pure magic, truly. It's anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, helps with blood sugar and heart health and brain health, and it's warming and stimulating both physically and mentally. But it also, adding cinnamon to any spell or intention helps emphasize and expand the impact of your intention and increase the speed of your intention. It is basically like sprinkling on an amplifier. And I really, truly do that. When I'm creating an altar, I sprinkle cinnamon on top of it. It also is a protector. So if you keep cinnamon by your door, around your altar, or around your home, it protects your home. It protects your intentions. It protects your energy. You can sprinkle it around yourself for luck and protection. And I do that. If you don't want to cause any messes, you can also get sticks of cinnamon, which I do even more often, and place it in door entries or around your altar, or bring it with you wherever you go. I have been doing that more and more, and it really has helped me feel supported and grounded. It's also known for abundance and luck and love, and also for taking action. It's associated with the fire element, so it's activating, which is why it amplifies your intentions even more. Cinnamon can be found easily in any store that sells any food items, really often. And you can use it however you see fit. You can also put it in your teas, any concoctions you're making, any soups or stews, any baking you're doing. If you would like a herbal remedy to support you that has cinnamon in it, on our apothecary, cinnamon is found in the grounded elixir, which is one of my favorite herbal potions that we have. So maybe pause here and place a hand on your heart and close your eyes and feel your body on the earth wherever it's touching the earth. Maybe you're sitting, your sit bones, maybe your feet are planted on the earth. And take a moment to acknowledge September and to thank September for all the blessings and all the challenges and all the growth and lessons and abundance that it brought you your way. And thank yourself for how you handled it, and acknowledge all you went through and all you've felt and all you've learned. And maybe it feels good here to really pause and sit with that and sit in meditation or do your journaling and process right now. Or you feel ready to move into our October intentions. And our key dates to note for October starts with the Libra new moon, which is today, October 2nd, a very, very, very powerful and potent eclipse new moon. Our first quarter moon, which is October 10th, and on October 10th is World Mental Health Day. On October 17th, we have the full moon, and October 25th, we have the last quarter moon. And on October 31st to November 1st, we have Samhain. And so you can look forward to lots of conversations around understanding, supporting, and strengthening your mental health this month, in the first few weeks of the month. And then we shift to conversations and rituals around Samhain and witchcraft and intuition. And I'm really, really excited about the podcast episodes coming out this month. They are really deep and really impactful. And they discuss two of my favorite things, mental health and magic. And you might think that those two things are not connected, but I can assure you they very much are. And on that note, I actually want to talk first off about our herbal companion from the apothecary tool for this month, which is fire cider. And I did a full episode a couple weeks ago on YouTube about how to make a fire cider, why I love it, and also in that episode I talk about emotions and our solar plexus and human design and the impact of our emotions. So that's a really helpful YouTube to check out, and I will link it below. But fire cider is the #1 remedy for fall and winter, and definitely more to come on this soon. But if you would like to make it yourself, head over to that YouTube. Or if you would like any insights or guidance or behind the scenes access to some intuitively wild fire cider, reach out and let me know and we can talk. As I was feeling into the title, the energy, the intention for October, it felt very clear for me. I think it felt very clear because it's very connected to what came through for me on the autumnal equinox and the ritual we did for that, and continuing that energy and that theme that is really deeply rooted into October, which is this theme around nourishment. October is for nourishment. And as we declared in last month's ritual for the autumnal equinox, our words for autumn are nourishment, play, grounding, discernment, stability, abundance, connection, and creativity. But I take that a step further in October, because I think October is even more about prioritizing self-nourishment and getting clear on what that looks like for us and only us. So in that autumnal equinox ritual, which I will link below as well, the assignment was to create categories for your life and write down where you feel nourished or depleted in each area right now. And then underneath that, action steps you can integrate and embody to bring you further into nourishment in each area of your life. And one, if you didn't do that yet, or if you want a refresher, now is a perfect time to engage in that ritual and in that practice. And that serves as a reflection process, as an intention process, as an integrating and embodying process. So that practice in and of itself is a full, abundant ritual. But I talked about that then, and I want to emphasize it even further now with our journal prompts, which is, what does balance mean to you? What does nourishment mean to you? What does balance and nourishment look like in your life right now? You get to define these words for yourself, and they will ebb and flow as you do. And you also get to decide the categories of your life that you want to focus on, and those will ebb and flow as well. How can you create a ritual this month of checking in on your level of nourishment? How can you touch base with your intentions in each category and your nourishment in each category, and how you are acting on and embodying and aligning with those? Is that a daily thing that you bring into your ritual? Is that a daily check-in, a daily journal, a daily conversation you're having with yourself or someone in your life? Is that a weekly check-in? What does that look like for you, and how can you make it a devoted ritual? A time to be really honest and present and connected to yourself. And maybe that looks like choosing one action step from each category and bringing it into your daily ritual. That's definitely something I will be doing. I'll be doing both. I will be taking an action step and bringing it into my daily ritual from each category, and I'll be doing a little nourishment assessment daily in my morning journaling practice, and just checking in on how I feel, if I feel nourished, if I feel depleted, if I feel supported, if I feel spacious and full, if I'm really embodying the energy that I want to. And I intend on creating many mini ritual moments for myself throughout the day, which I hope to share through YouTube and Instagram. So if you want to check in with those and bring them into your life as well, that's where you can find them. If you want more personalized support, of course, head to our apothecary or reach out about mentorship, where we can help you create a personalized ritual, a personalized system that works for you, and also personalized tools, whether that's a tea or a full-on guidebook that can help you guide yourself through your life with intention and intuition and authenticity. And of course, the number one way that I ritualize the beginning of each month is writing out the title of the month. So October is for nourishment. I then write out my intention and my mantras, my words, and my action steps. So our mantras for the month, and you can choose one of these, all of them, or you can create your own. I prioritize nourishment for my mind, body, and soul. I am grounded within myself. I am surrounded by abundance in every area of my life. I am protective of my energy and generous with my spirit. And our intention for the month, in October, I prioritize connection to my nourishment above all else. So some words for October: priorities, protection, nourishment, self-connection, abundance, softening. Again, find what mantra, intention, words feel good to you, and what action steps feel good to you. You can also refer back to the ones that we talked about for autumn, and we created on the autumnal equinox. But I feel like October is even more so asking us to hone in on self-protection and self-nourishment and self-priorities. My biggest action step when it comes to all of this will probably not surprise you, or maybe it will, because it's something I talk about all the time. And one reason I talk about it all the time is because it's something that I need more in my life, which is slowing down, getting still, and getting silent. I want to choose more time in silence than listening to podcasts or seeking out advice from others or always needing to be productive. I want to slow down when I feel like I need to speed up. I want to build in more pauses in my life, more times to process throughout the day. And I definitely want to bookend. I've been trying to do this already, but bookend my days with a pause. Step outside in silence by myself. I get still. I look at the sky. I connect to my intuition. I connect to my guides. I connect to whatever I'm feeling around me. I connect to nature, and I just leave space to see what comes. I want to begin my days like that. I want to end my days like that, and I want to build in pockets of my days for more space. If this resonates with you, I would love for you to join me. And if not, I would love to hear what is coming up for you. Love to hear what comes from your reflections for September, what these eclipses have brought to you so far and are continuing to bring up for you, what the equinox brought up for you, what you're feeling into for October. I want to hear all the things. I want to know about you. I want to know about your life. I want to know about your reflections and your intentions and your rituals. Let's talk about it. And really, I just want to express my gratitude for all of you for being here, something that continues to be revealed to me, even as more and more sheds and falls away and remains unclear, is that I want to continue to build this community, and I'm so devoted to this space, this lifestyle, this business, and I'm so grateful to be in this space with all of you. So thank you so much. If this served you, if it has impacted you or supported you, it would mean the absolute world to me if you shared it with a friend, if you liked it and reviewed it on Spotify or Apple, whatever you like to listen to your podcasts, and head over to Instagram or email me and send me a message. And one thing I'm feeling really called to share in this moment is that if you are going through a rough or rocky time or just an unclear, ungrounded time, I want to remind you that it is just a season. It is just a phase. It is just a cycle. And it is exactly what you need to get to where you need and want to go. And you are capable of handling it. Maybe it means adding on more support or finding the right tools or shifting things around in your life. But you are safe. You can trust yourself. And it's going to be okay. I just want you to remember that it's going to be okay. And that life is scary and confusing, and we have no control, and it's very all unclear and up in the air, especially this time. And it might continue to be so in the world that we are living in right now. But we are safe and we can trust ourselves. And as long as we continue to stay connected to who we are and decide to go on the path of understanding who we are and accepting who we are, then we will handle whatever the world brings our way to the best of our abilities, which is therefore exactly how we need to in that moment. Okay, I'm done. That's all for now. Sending you all so much love and so much joy, and I will see you next time for more magic. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Intuitively Wild, the podcast. I hope it helped deepen your connection to yourself, sparked some insights, and inspired you to live intuitively wild. If you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you would share it with others and leave a rating and review. And please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. I will see you next time for more magic.